Welcome back, folks. I am Jon Najarian, and this is 3 at 3. 3 at 3, every business day. We bring you unusual option activity. We've been setting up in the new office here, and soon in the new office down in Puerto Rico. But that's more than you wanted to know when you tuned in today. You tuned in for unusual activity. That is what you're going to get. So for the 1st of December, 2021, let's talk about unusual option activity. Options that are purchased in big numbers on the offer, whether they're puts, which would be bearish, or calls, which would be bullish. We track both, as well as sentiment on the full fire hose of Twitter and, of course, Reddit. We track all of that, not just Wall Street bets. We track all of it. We assign an artificial intelligence to tell us which people have been most accurate in their posts, eliminating the others, so that we can refine it down to bring the best possible information to you and to us, because we eat our own cooking too. So yesterday we told you about CRM, which is Salesforce. And Mark Benioff, they did it again, folks. They reported a great quarter. Because that's what CRM does on a very regular basis. They report fabulous numbers. Well, unfortunately, they sold it anyway. And down yesterday, it started falling in the after hours and fell about $16. We owned the puts, but as you know, I buy at the money, not out of the money. So I wasn't long those January 280 puts. I was long the 285 puts and sold puts this morning against them after earnings. Well, there it is. The stock fell all the way down to 257, down some almost 10%. Again, I'm a fan of Mark Benioff. I like his company, but it seemed vulnerable. Big put buyer. That's why we were short. Now I've sold the 260 puts against my 285 puts, which becomes a very nice fat winner. Took off half the position, am riding with the rest in that 260-285 spread. Bang. All right, let's get to some fresh meat, shall we? Starting with waste management. WM, waste management, stock's $163. They're buying the 165 calls in January, so they're about 2 months into the future. 7,800 is 780,000 shares. It's a big trade of $163 stock. So I'm right there with them, thinking waste management is in a good position to continue to make money. So I'm riding with them, folks, in this trade. The first of today's 3 at 3. The second, that's Zion. So obviously, bank. Are interest rates going higher? If they are, we all know that deposits that the banks get, they pay very little on, and they get to charge on the loans a lot. So Zion, Z-I-O-N, $64.50 stock. They're buying the 67.50 calls, $3 out of the money. You don't have to buy those. You can buy a lower strike. That's what I did. That's what I do, 1-to-1. For every option that I buy, I sell an option, which gives me then insulation against volatility compression, as well as time decay or theta. If you'd like to do the same and you don't already know how, well, I know somebody that could teach you. For instance, we do that every day for thousands of people that have trusted us to be their advisor on the education side of things, not just on unusual option activity. So you could go on over and check it out, marketrebellion.com/get started. And you'd see exactly how to do that and other far more complicated spreads, but you don't have to be complicated to be successful. That's one thing that we can prove to you over and over again. But we will teach you all the strategies that you may want to employ, marketrebellion.com/get started. All right, the third and final of today's 3 at 3 is Microsoft. Mr. Softy, with shares trading 335, 15,000, which is again, every option's for 100 shares of stock. So this is 1.5 million share equivalent of the December 340 calls. that expire this Friday. Notice that third in front of the D's. That's because these options that we're tracking are options that expire this Friday. So very short term, only 2 more trading days, but somebody wanted a very defined risk for a short period of time, and they chose to buy these, which is why we follow. Now, I was already in Microsoft. It is indeed my largest position, and I am right there with them on this trade, believing that the stock trades through 340, but I don't want to buy the 340 calls. I want to buy the 335 calls and sell the 340 calls, creating a 1-by-1 call vertical spread, a $5 call vertical spread, by the way. I like doing that trade a lot more than the other. But again, you have to decide what's prudent for you. Don't miss this live stream. I mean, if you ever wanted an excuse, like you needed one, to be part of the Unusual Option Activity family, well, we give you live webinars. We give you weekly trade ideas. We have a trading community second to none. Yeah, you've heard of Wall Street Bets, and yeah, that's free. But guess what? We monitor Wall Street Bets. We monitor every tweet on Twitter, and we have Unusual Option Activity as well. And you can see it all if you join one of our products. For instance, marketrebellion.com/UOA live. That's marketrebellion.com/UOA live. That stands for Unusual Option Activity. You can also dial us up, 888-809-8058. That's 888-809-8058. Let's get to your questions. Favorite part of the show, right? Questions, direct them to me and my Twitter account at Jon Najarian, JONNAJARIAN. QQQM. There was a big block trade executed in this ETF at 166.55 for 1.7 million shares, which is a whopper. I agree. I don't know, or rather, I know you are the Unusual Option Activity experts, but does any of your technology or Market Rebellion identify stock buys or sells? Was this a buy or a sell? Well, when we pulled up that one, guys, and again, that was QQQM, 3 Qs and an M. This is the Invesco NASDAQ 100 ETF for, and it was at that time 166.55, which was last week, maybe a little bit more than a week ago. It was the 22nd, a little over a week ago. And it was indeed a sell, not a buy. Does that mean that people should be diving into this one or anything else? Well, if you feel like it, they're going to, I don't like following stock trades as much as I like following option trades, because there's far more information embedded in the option trade, is the simple answer. By the way, this came our way from Ethan 457-38438. And Ethan, the embedded information in the option trade is A, at least a target, the strike price, B, time frame. Without that time frame and target price, we don't know, is this somebody lightening up on a trade that they have? Is it somebody who just wanted to get short a percentage or all of their portfolio? Don't know. I like the options because I can see when it's a new opening trade, and I like following that. So, Ethan, I wish I had a better answer than that for you. If I can come up with a better one by Friday, I'll do that. Thank you, Ethan. Jon Najarian, Pete Najarian, I see unusual activity in Uber. And is it bearish? Do you see it? Well, lately we haven't had much activity in Uber. So I have had a position in there, Anders, and his handle is Anders SEC. That's ANDRESASSISI. But I haven't seen enough to trigger me into the trade on the short side. That's my answer. Inflation. John, please illuminate your followers. How is this Biden's fault? Inflation is a global issue. And that comes our way from Jay Minnie, whose handle is at Johnny, JOHNYMIN79. I'd be happy to. Several things. What we've done by printing even more money than we printed under Trump, and I'm not saying I was in favor of printing money under the former president either. I think printing money is a fool's errand. And I think that we create inflation when we do it. And when we do it for most of the most that we'd seen ever, by the way, under Trump, and now being leapfrogged over and over again by President Biden and the Democratic Congress, I think we create inflation by bringing out more money. Now, I know that you're probably a smart person, Jay Minnie, but let me just say that assets gather their value by their scarcity. That said, you are diluting the value of the currency by printing more of it. Now, I believe that manifests itself in several ways. One could be that people stop focusing on the dollar as the currency of choice. Another is that they figure, okay, well, this is causing inflation because dollars are worth less. Again, to quote Warren Buffett, not worthless, worth less over time. The more you print, the less they're worth. So if you have a good, whether it's this microphone or whatever it might be, that you sell at a price, let's say $500, and you continue to print money so that there is more money for everybody to spend, then that causes inflation. People pump up prices when that happens. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Also, I think the energy side of the trade, when the president shut down the Excel pipeline, threatened to shut down other pipelines across the country, cut back on drilling on public lands, and now is just now, a bit late in the game, 9 months into his term, trying to say, well, maybe I'll grant some more drilling in the Gulf. Well, that might come online. That's not deep water, but that's definitely different than cross drilling or fracking, a lot more difficult. If we started now, that won't start bearing yield for probably a year. Maybe they can do it a little bit faster, but that ain't going to help on the inflation side because energy prices are running up like crazy because Mr. Putin is threatening war over in Ukraine. That's a global issue. Nothing to do with the president here, really. But the fact that we have been cutting back on pipelines and drilling means that prices should be going up. Again, assets gather their value by their scarcity. So the more we make energy scarce, this kind of energy, the higher prices have to go. This works the same way with semiconductor chips, with steak and chicken. You guys get the idea. So that is all I'll say about this particular thing at this time. But if you want, I'll extend it into a longer rant another time. Thank you for asking. If you'd like to learn more about trading stock, options, futures, or cryptocurrency, please, by all means, go to marketrebellion.com/get started. That's marketrebellion.com/get started. We can show you exactly how we do what we do, and we can teach you to be a better investor in stocks, options, futures, cryptocurrencies. We can also help you on the subscription side with marketrebellion.com/UOA live. And you'll get to see a lot of those examples that I showed you today in live time. And then, of course, join the live stream. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for your questions, each and every one of you. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.